Let's talk about this for a second. St. Paul says to Thessalonians, concerning times and seasons, brothers and sisters, you have no need for anything to be written to you. This same language appears in Genesis when God is creating the universe. And so there's a part in the process of his creation that he creates the lights in the sky, the sun and the moon. And then it says, so that they could track the times and the seasons. And that is certainly how we run our own calendar, right? So what is one day? It is our perception of, I know it doesn't physically happen, but our perception of the sun moving around the earth in one complete cycle. A year is the earth going completely, making a full cycle all the way around the sun. Months were tracked on a lunar cycle. So like a week is one phase of the moon, and roughly about a month is a full cycle of the moon. And so it is true that chronologically we do use these lights to track the times and the seasons. But the value to this for the Hebrew mind was not primarily so we knew what time to get to work, but so that they could understand and know their liturgical cycle, their time for worship. And so like Passover is going to happen on the 14th day of the month of Nisan in the Hebrew calendar. And they could understand that. And when we look at our own liturgical calendar, it is for the reason that St. Paul is saying. He says, concerning the times and seasons, brothers and sisters, you have no need for anything to be written to you, for you yourselves know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. So he's linking the tracking of times and seasons with the preparation of our own interior disposition for the coming of the Lord, whenever that's going to happen. I have no idea. And the liturgical cycle is ordered towards that effect. So we have things like ordinary time and Advent and Lent, Christmas and Easter, all of these seasons that we celebrate, and each of them have their own personality and habits. We fast, we feast, we celebrate, we mourn, we discipline. And all of this is meant to move us along in preparation. Now, it might seem that the cycles just sort of repeat themselves, like we're hurling into another Advent again. But the hope is that even though we encounter the same seasons, I, who am encountering them, I am different because of last year's cycle. So that as I engage Advent in a new way to prepare for the immediate arrival of the Lord, Father Loomis is a different man in Advent 2025 than he was in 2024. And so I'm more ready than I've ever been, and the Lord is ready to take me deeper into that mystery. For those of you who come to daily Mass, this is of enormous practical value because you are, with a particular intensity, engaging this rhythm in the life of the church. You have access to the readings, the Word of God. You have a priest who's going to unpack that for you so that you can internalize that yourself. And then you are reminded at the beginning of each new day with something to focus on, how to practice that in your everyday affairs. What a huge gift that is. Now, it only really works if we actually do internalize them. I mean, if we just show up and like snooze or, hit the snooze button while we're at Mass and we're not really engaged, then it's not really going to have its impact. Or, for those who are just, through no fault of their own, unable to be here, that can present its own kind of a challenge. So whether or not we're able to be here, if we understand the reason why we're doing what we're doing, then it becomes enormously advantageous for us to find even other ways. Like if I can't be at daily Mass, could I at least take one of the readings from that day and take 15 minutes out of whatever I'm doing that day and reflect and meditate on it so that I'm always walking with the church towards her Lord, so that when he comes, then we have no concern. So St. Paul will finish his passage to the Thessalonians with the confidence that is proper to Christians. Like they are not afraid that that day is going to overtake them like a thief. He says, for all of you are children of the light and children of the day. Therefore, let us not sleep as the rest do, but let us stay alert and sober, for God did not destine us for wrath, but to gain salvation. And for those of us who are attentive, like the virgins with the lamps that stay lit because we are engaging this process every single day, then there really is nothing to fear and there is everything for which to hope.